festival is coming, and for the Diwali festival, we will be preparing a lot of dishes. But I would like to tell everyone that most of the time we end up with eating wrong things on the festival time. And it is the only festival time where we need to maintain our health with proper healthy dishes, right? So Ayurveda perspective point of view, actually, we are going to learn some of the dishes which will definitely help to improve your health. And once you eat those dishes, like those preparations, your health will not be get spoiled, or you will not be putting on weight after the festival. That is the most of the stress. Most of the people, they get stress after festival, because all the relatives come together and they eat enthusiastically. And after the festival goes, then it becomes very difficult to lose the weight, right? So today we are going to learn few dishes which I'm going to explain what are their importance also. So first dish which we are going to prepare is the saffron rice. In the festival dishes, Ayurveda uses a lot of Ayurveda tells to use a lot of saffron, basically because there are multiple benefits of the saffron. So many of the dishes I also will be using the saffron, so that it keeps your mind alert, and a lot of good things will happen with the use of saffron. So for saffron rice, the ingredients, I would like to show the ingredients. The first ingredient is red rice, which you can see here in our Ayurveda cooking. Generally, we are using this type of rice. So this type of rice is the healthy rice with a lot of fiber in it. Then second ingredient, no need to write it down because I have put it in a slide share also. You will be getting all those PPTs. So this is powdered rock sugar. So generally white sugar is not good for the health, and festival means there must be something sweet, right? So this is a rock sugar, and I have made powder. I have powdered it in by putting it in a mixie. Okay, so and third ingredient is cow ghee, which we are going to use almost 2 tablespoons. Then saffron. So saffron, minimum 10 strands, more than that also can be used. I have already soaked it in a water, or you can use even milk also to soak it. So pre-soaked saffron. Then we are going to use raisins and cashews for the sweet saffron rice. Then we are going to use cardamom powder. So I have already prepared it by adding little rock sugar to it, so it becomes fine powder. Then black pepper and cloves also we are going to use into it. And then grated coconut for garnishing. Milk, if you want to use milk, you can use milk for the saffron soaking. Otherwise, you can use water also. Okay, so let's prepare our saffron rice. So actually this rice, this red rice, it takes a lot of time for the cooking. So that's why, to save our time, I have pre-cooked this rice. So you can see here already I have cooked it, and now we will make it into saffron. We will garnish it with the saffron. So let's see how to prepare it. Okay, so you can take pre-cooked rice. So what we'll do, we will first add our cow ghee. So most of the dishes, generally what happens, we use a lot of oils. And most of the oils, when you fry it, it is not good for the health. So in our dishes, we are not going to use any oil. We're going to use cow ghee. So we are going to add almost 2 spoons of cow ghee. And don't worry about the quantity of the ghee. Anyways, we are going to balance it. I'm going to teach you some of the recipes which will balance your excess weight gain if it happens. So, so what we'll do, first we will fry our cashews and raisins to it, to the cow ghee. Just shallow fry. So that it gives a good crunch to it and a good taste also. spoon is there? So what we'll do now, we will add our rice into this ghee. And we will mix it, the ghee nicely with the rice. And in this only we are going to add our cloves and black pepper. So cloves will make it little small pieces. It should be coarse powder. It should not be very fine powder. So like this coarse powder we are going to add to this mixture. So black pepper, you can put either whole black pepper or you can put black pepper powder also. So I'm going to add black pepper powder, which is 2 black peppers only. And in this only now we are going to add our powdered sugar. We'll mix all the ingredients nicely. And in this, we are going to add our saffron water. Along with the saffron. You can see a beautiful color will come because of the saffron. And we'll mix it nicely. Then we are going to add our cardamom powder. Our fried cashew nuts and raisins. And we have to cover it with the lid. Just 5 to 10 minutes we have to cover it with the lid so that all the ingredients get nicely mixed with the rice. The cardamom, the cloves, all the things which are needed will get mixed with the rice. So this is the saffron rice. Slide next. So basically, you can see in the picture, in the slide, what are the benefits of the saffron. The research is done on the saffron, and it says that those who are having depression problem, for them it works as a very good mood elevator. So that's why you must add the saffrons in your dishes, specifically sweet dishes, because it gives good aroma also, and it gives a nice taste also, flavor also. And then second is, you can see here, to elevate mood. If you're feeling depressed, then you should add saffron in your rice or whatever dishes you are preparing. so that you feel the mood will get elevated. It works on a nervous system so that your mood becomes nice. You feel good by eating saffron. Okay, then generally in the males, we can see nowadays erectile dysfunction is a common disorder we can see. For them also, that's why generally in a tradition also you can see in the marriages, generally the couple is served with the saffron milk. That is the reason, so that if there is any issues, it will get solved with the saffron. So saffron is very much needed in erectile dysfunction. Then nowadays the common problem is premenstrual syndrome. So most of the females before their menstruation or 4-5 days, they feel very much agitated, anxious, they feel very irritated. So for such a kind of things, if you add saffron in your meals, definitely you will feel, because it acts on a nervous system, your mood gets elevated. That's why this works very well. And saffron is one of the costliest herb in the Ayurveda, and it is also used in external application. For example, to give good complexion to the skin. You might have heard the word, the name of the herb, name of the medicine called as Kumkumadi Tailam, which is generally used in a pigmentation kind of a things. So generally under eye pigmentation, dark circles, butterfly pigmentation post delivery, which you get in such a conditions, this kumkum or saffron is used. Even during pregnancy, we traditionally also we recommend to the pregnant female to have saffron with the milk, so that the child's complexion who is getting born, the child's complexion also will be better, or the fair complexion will be there. So these are all the benefits of the saffron. So that's why we are using this saffron in the this sweet dish. So you can also take the benefit of this. Don't use saffron only for the sake of like just tradition, but it has a medicinal values also. That's why don't forget to add saffron in your dishes. Okay, so I think our rice might have cooked because it was already almost cooked. Can you check it? So you can see saffron has given the color, a nice color, nice aroma is also coming. And this is a wonderful sweet dish which we have prepared. So all whatever dishes we are preparing, we are going to offer it to the Lord. So we will transfer our saffron rice is ready. We'll transfer it into serving bowl. Those who have sweet tooth, they must take benefit of this dish. Very healthy. And because we are not using any white rice, so it adds a lot of benefit. We are not using any white sugar also. So it is the most healthy dish. We will garnish it with a coconut. And we'll offer it to the Lord. So all the dishes we are going to offer together. So we'll just prepare and we will offer all together. You'll see. Then our second dish which we are going to prepare is again a sweet dish. That is the brain nourishing laddus. Yeah. So the ingredients, this is again, we don't want you all to end up eating laddus on a Diwali which are unhealthy. So prepare your own healthy laddu. Don't use chana dal, use moong dal, use cow ghee, and add certain herbs to it so that it makes your brain more alert. You become more intelligent person by eating the laddus, right? So brain nourishing laddu, the ingredients are, the first ingredient is moong dal. You have to wash it first and then dry it under fan. So that is the because sometimes the moong dal will be added with some chemical powders and all. So moong dal 1 bowl, then powder, again rock sugar powder, then dry fruits, whatever you need as per your taste. Again, in this dish, we are going to use saffron, then cardamom powder, cow ghee, and then there are 3 herbs which we are going to use. First one is ashwagandha powder, which is very good nervine tonic. Second is a vacha or Acorus calamus, which is also again one of the good nervine tonic. And the leaves, which you can see, these are the Mandukparni leaves. Centella asiatica is the Latin name. So these are the leaves which are generally used for the, you might have heard the Brahmi, right? So Brahmi and Mandukparni, they work same, they have same function. So this gives intelligence. So those who are having small kids, they want to focus, or those who are studying in the colleges, if they eat this type of laddus on everyday basis, definitely they will be become more, their memory will increase. They will remain more focused by eating all these laddus. So let's see how to prepare it. So first, we need to make powder of this moong dal. So we will add this moong dal into a mixie and make the powder. It is little bit coarse powder. We'll just one more time, we'll put it in a, we'll grind it one more time. So it is very easy to prepare the powder. Very soon you get a good little coarse powder. So now we have to roast this powder. We are going to use iron kadai for this. So for this, we will roast our moong dal in a cow ghee. Okay. So we will add I need 1 spoon there. Yeah. So cow ghee. So almost equal quantity of a ghee is needed. So how much you are using the moong dal, that much quantity of ghee will be required. So we are almost using whole, so almost 4 spoons of the cow ghee. In that, we are going to add this moong, and you have to roast it nicely. So those who like fried dry fruits, they can fry those. So generally, most of the kids, they like fried dry fruits in the laddus. So we will little shallow fry it in this cow ghee only first. or you can use it without frying also, as per your choice. So here I'm using both types of raisins. The black one also I'm using. Generally we prefer black one, but festival time you can use even the white also few. But generally in Ayurveda we use black raisins because they are more healthier. The white one are with little bit, they add some chemicals to it. That's why we don't recommend. So now we are going to add this moong dal. And you have to roast it nicely. Till it becomes little brown. For roasting and all purposes, it will be good if you use iron kadai, because the iron contents also gets transferred when you cook. So those who are the female who are anemic, for them it is recommended they prepare the dishes specifically in the iron kadai. And when we add some herbs to it, then it gives it becomes more beneficial for the health, because eating ashwagandha, generally kids, they don't like to eat because it has little bitter taste. Or even if you give them vacha also directly, they will not have it. But in this way, the tricks you can use so that they will eat the laddus and they will get those herbs also. So you can see now the powder has started becoming little, the molecules has started becoming separated. Slowly they are getting separated. So for the dishes, generally we need little more ghee, but it is recommended that if you have moong dal or if you are using chana dal, it will be good if you mix it with the cow ghee, because they are dry in nature. So that dryness will get balanced by having this kind of ghee, by adding ghee or by adding little oil to it. So generally whenever we recommend moong dal, because it balances all the three doshas. It balances all three doshas, but it is little dry in nature. So that's why you need to mix it with little cow ghee. Okay, so almost it has become little brown. This kind of a dish needs little patience. Okay, so we will transfer it to a plate and let it get cooled down, because then only we will be able to prepare the laddus out of it. Basically, when it gets cooled down, then only you need to add powdered sugar. Otherwise, it will become more melted form. So that therefore, generally, if you are in a hurry, you can keep it in a freezer for some time, and then it will get cooled down, and then you can mix sugar. Otherwise, we have to wait till it gets cooled down, and then we will mix sugar, because sugar with the heat, it will again leave water. No? So you will not be able to prepare the laddus. So when it comes a little cold, then we will add all our herbs also and then bind the laddus. So here I would like to, these are the leaves which are very important leaves. Those who are having anxiety issue, psychological problems, unable to focus, for them this herbs works very well. So there are 8 types of rasayanas are mentioned. There are 8 types of rasayanas are mentioned in Ayurveda. Out of them, one is a Brahmi, right? So Brahmi, most of the time you don't get pure form, but this Madhukparni has the equal qualities like the Brahmi. Okay, so you can see in the screen there are 3 qualities which I have written. First one is a Medhya. Medhya means it increases the intelligence. Okay, so if someone tells you to drink the juice of it or prepare something like it raw, it will be difficult. So if you add it in the laddus or something like that, then definitely you will be able to have it along with that sweet taste of the laddu. Madhukparni is it is added in most of the Medhya rasayanas, like for example the medicines which increases focus, or the medicines which help you to sleep better, or a medicine which helps you to keep more attentive or alert. In those conditions, in those medicines, this Madhukparni is added. So it is a Medhya, increases intelligence, and then it also increases alertness. So those who are like absent-minded people, or those who are having forgetfulness, when they keep the things and then immediately they forget, for them they can have these Madhukparni leaves. And then neurological damage, like there are certain disorders, for example, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. In that there will be neurological damage. Nervous system gets damaged. So in those cases, generally you can see Alzheimer's patient also, they immediately forget the things, or they are not alert. When they wake up in the night, they are not aware where is the washroom. They just forget the things. So in those conditions also, for such a patient, this Madhukparni works very well. So this is the one of the important herb which we are going to add in this laddu preparation. So this is a trick so that we can give it to the kids also, right? So we will make it into, we will cut it with scissor. So we cut it into small pieces. So this Madhukparni is, we have it in our herbal garden. So you can also, if you have any garden, you can definitely, you should keep these herbs in your garden, because it doesn't need much space. Like it grows how the other creepers grow on the ground, and then just you have to water it. Nothing special you have to do. It grows out on its own. It spreads like how the creepers spread. So like that, it spreads on its own. So like this, you can prepare in small pieces. You cut it down into small pieces. And again, as I have explained, that saffron is very good for the depression. So in this recipe also, we are going to add saffron threads. Okay, so just finely chopped Madhukparni. We'll check whether our laddu has, it's still very hot. Till it becomes cold, we will go for another recipe. Then we'll come back to this recipe. Okay, so we are going to prepare now our third dish, that is the Ayurvedic chiuda for the weight loss. Anyways, when Diwali is there, you have to have the chiuda, right? So, and without laddu and without chiuda, you can't leave the Diwali like that, right? So we are going to prepare the chiuda, which is the one of the healthy dish, or the healthy chiuda, because in the market, if you purchase the chiuda, which is very much oily and very unhealthy, it increases your cholesterol, it gives you cough, allergies, acidity. So that's why we are going to prepare. Next slide, share. Next. So in this Chuda, I'm going to pop rice. You can see here, this is a malar rice or the pop rice, which is recommended in Ayurveda. So for the Chuda, don't use other ingredients because they may create gases or you want me to share a slide? Okay. So it may create gases and all those kind of issues, or it may create digestive problems also. So that's why we are going to use this pop rice, which is recommended in pregnant females who get nausea in the morning. So morning sickness, they can prepare this kind of a chuda and have it on every day. Those who are towards the obesity, like putting on more weight, and if they are getting a lot of appetite, they feel hungry a lot of time. So for them, they can have these snacks anytime because it improves your metabolism and still you don't put on weight. You might have seen that whenever you do any kind of yagya or sacrifice, there we add this laja. The Sanskrit name is laja. There we add this laja. So the means is that when you add this laja to the fire, it increases your digestive fire. So in the obesity person, we need to increase their digestive fire or their further the Dhatvagni Mandal, because their conversion from one dhatu to another dhatu, it becomes low. So that's why whatever they eat, it gets converted into the fat. So that's why if they eat this type of a chiuda, definitely they will not put on weight and their hunger also will get curbed. Okay, so let's see how to prepare it. So for this chiuda, we are going to use some other ingredients, like how we prepare chiuda like that. So we are going to use curry leaves, we are going to use mustard seeds, then we are going to use cumin seeds, rock salt and turmeric, and little cow ghee. So again, we are going to use iron kadai for this preparation. Only the thing is that whenever you use, whenever you have other type of a chiuda, in that you add a lot of groundnuts and dry fruits like cashews and all those kind of things. We are not going to add all those things in this dish. Even though it is a festival dish, we are going to use it. But in other ingredients, we are going to use other dry fruits, but this we are keeping it simple. So it is just a substitute for that unhealthy chiuda. This is a Ayurvedic healthy chiuda. So here also we are not going to use oil, we are using cow ghee. So just a little bit of cow ghee, even half spoon is enough. In this only we are going to add this mustard seeds. Then when mustard seeds starts little bit popping up, then we are going to add cumin seeds. Then curry leaves, because curry leaves are again liver tonic. So curry leaves is one of my favorite ingredient. It is very good liver tonic. It flushes out all your toxins. It gives a strength to your liver. And then little bit of turmeric, so that turmeric is again, it is also works very well in cholesterol and all kind of issues. And then we are going to add our pop rice. And in this only we will add our rock salt. So just as per taste. not much. So this is one of the healthy chuda. Believe me, there is no change in the taste. It tastes same how the other chudas also taste. You will get same taste. So roast it nicely so that rice becomes little crunchy. Pop rice or malar rice also called, it is also called as laja in Sanskrit. It is a very good remedy for those who are having nausea, vomiting sensation, or those specifically kids, they don't get appetite. For them also you can give. Or sometimes kids, they want to eat something which is just before their meals. Like sometimes it is lunchtime or dinner time and they say, I don't want to have lunch or dinner, but I want to have something like snacks. So that time, if you give any other item, what happens? Their appetite goes. Then they don't want to eat anything. But if you give this type of children, they will get more appetite and they will eat their meal properly. So this is again good substitute for them also. Okay, so our chuda is ready. We'll transfer it in a serving bowl. Now we will check whether our moong dal has become cold. It is still hot. So till it becomes cold, we'll go for another recipe. So see, basically what happens when you have a lot of sweets, when you have a lot of festival things along with your friends and family members, what happens? You become, sometimes you don't know, you eat, like you overeat. And then you feel, oh, while talking, I ate a lot and then I need something which will digest it. So during festival, it happens many times. It's very common. And then you need a good healthy digestive to digest whatever dishes you have eaten. Okay, so today we are going to learn a nice, a very good digestive, which is mentioned in Ayurveda called as tambulam. You might have heard. Tambula is basically a good digestive. When you eat, after that, generally how you eat, like pachak, like jeera and ajwain, like that. You can prepare it and keep it in a fridge. It lasts for almost 8 to 10 days, but is the healthy way of the digestive. So it is, in this recipe, we are going to use fresh betel leaves. Okay. And then some herbs also we are going to add so that it becomes it becomes very good. It improves your metabolism and it helps to improve your digestion. You don't get any acidity or nausea or gas trouble once you eat all those healthy dishes. Okay, so ingredients for this recipe. So I have made certain optional things. I have added certain things which are optional, which you might not need if you are adult, but for kids, if you want them to eat those, you have to make it little colorful. So that's why you will be adding certain things which are which are absolutely optional. Okay, so here we are going to use betel leaves. So almost 10 to 12 betel leaves I have taken. Then second ingredient is roasted and salted coriander seeds, which generally you get in a market easily. It is easily available. These are the coriander seeds which are roasted and salted. Then we are going to use fennel seeds, which is the one of the main ingredient or the one of the main ingredient of this, which is one of the main digestive, you can say. And then next ingredient which we are going to use is black sesame seeds. This is again, you can use either black or you can use white sesame seeds also. Then we are going to use flax seeds also. And then herb, one of the herb which we are going to use is a yashti madhu or licorice powder. Okay, So licorice powder we are going to use. Then cloves we are going to use. Then again saffron also we are going to add to it. And these things are optional, like colored fennel for kids you can add. This type of a colored fennel also you get it in the market, that also can be used. Then gulkand is one of the pitta pacifying ingredient which you get in the market. So that also you can either you can prepare your own. Maybe later I can share this how to prepare gulkand, that recipe. And then menthol crystal also we are going to use in this recipe. So let's see how to prepare this dish. Menthol crystal. How to prepare this tambul. Let's see how to prepare it. First, we need to cut these betel leaves. Okay. So basically, those who traditionally prepare betel leaves, what they do, they remove these stems of the betel leaves, right? So we don't want to remove these stems because the stem has a very good quality. It helps in the cardiac patient, those who are getting cardiac blockages, or for them generally the medicine is prepared in this stem of the betel leaf. So that's why don't remove it. It has a very good medicinal properties. It works as an anti-cholesterol. So that's why we are going to use this stems also. So what we'll do, we'll cut all these betel leaves. Okay. So betel leaves or betel, generally it is mentioned in the scripture that it is a kapha shamaka. So that means it reduces kapha in the body. So those who are getting recurrent cough cold issue, or some patient, some children also generally they get a lot of flame when they cough a lot. So for them this works. So traditionally after every meal, our elderly people or our ancestors, they used to these betel leaves. You can see they have their own small tin with the betel leaves, and in that they used to add some lime, then betel, then katha, like that. All those ingredients they used to add, and they used to have it every day. So we are not going to use betel as such, because we are using a lot of betel leaves. And that katha also we are not going to use. Chuna you can add, but see, lime, it is optional. But other ingredients, because our focus is more on digestion, right? So more digestion issues. So we are going to add other ingredients into it. So how to add all other ingredients? What we'll do, we will roast flax seeds and fennel seeds. So we are going to roast flax seeds. In that also you can add some sesame seeds also, you can roast it together, no problem. Then these are already roasted, but just make it little hot. Then little fennel, the fennel also you can roast it little bit. And then we want to make it a coarse powder of these all ingredients. So we'll transfer it, the all ingredients in a chutney jar. You have to let it get cool down, but we don't have much time. It should be cooled down and then put it in a mixer. Okay, so we'll grind it. Yeah, in this we are going to add some cloves also, 4 or 5 cloves. If you have nutmeg powder, you can, that also can be mixed with it. Okay, so we'll grind it. One more thing which you get it in the market is a menthol crystals like this. Menthol is a cooling in nature, so that also you can have. So those who are burning in stomach, burning in chest, for them this works. Menthol is very cooling in nature, so that you can add when you grind the all our dry seeds. So this tambula, it becomes very tasty. So kids also will like it very much, and we are going to make it little bit attractive also. So when you add all those colored fennel, although it has little sugar, so those who are sugar conscious, for them, they should not add it, because this normal fennel we are adding, there is no need to add it. Otherwise, because kids, they eat a lot multiple times, they don't know the rules of eating. Sometimes they are hesitant to follow the rules of eating. Sometimes they keep on like full day, they keep on munching certain things. So for them, if they have this tambul once or twice a day, or after many like a main meals, then definitely they will have they will not have digestive issues. Generally, it is mentioned that if you eat more frequently, then what happens? Your digestion will not be proper, because the first food is not digested. Again, on the top, you are adding another meal. Then again, you are adding something which you like, or something sweet or something. So you keep on eating throughout day. Then what happens? The digestion process is not good. When digestion is not good, then the nourishing factor which should be formed will not get formed properly. So the toxins will get formed, and then you end up with the diseases. So that's why you have to make sure either you keep a fixed times for eating. Okay, and if not possible, then at least you should have tambula after your meals. At least twice a day you must have this tambula. So it will help for the digestion. We'll grind it now. So like this, it should be a coarse powder, not too fine, little coarse powder. You can see some particles are visible also. Okay. So now, see, there are two methods. Those who want it in a very fine powder, very fine texture, then you can also put these leaves into this mixer grinder and make it a paste form. Otherwise, what you can do, you can use a homemade the mortar to crush the leaves. Okay, so we are going to crush these leaves by adding it to the mortar. So some people, they want the taste of these betel leaves, little bit just because if you chew them, then only it will help to release saliva from your tongue. So it should be little coarse. It should not be too fine. Otherwise you will swallow it. Okay, so we have made it into like a semi-solid. It's not too. It's giving very good aroma of the betel leaves. So we are going to transfer it into one plate. You can see, and this is our mixture of all the ingredients like fennel and all. And now it's time to make it more beautiful or decorative. We're going to use tutti frutti for it. It's very optional. It's just for the kids I'm adding. Then our saffron strands we are going to add to it. Saffron is must for all the dishes. Then we are going to add all these colored fennel seeds. And then one of our important herb, that is yashti madhu or licorice. So licorice is a very good herb for the respiratory issues. So generally those who have respiratory problems like recurrent cold, cough, throat irritation, then throat pain. So for them this herb is used. Or flame is coming a lot of time in the morning. Or those who are singer, for them also we generally tell them to swallow or to have this, to chew the licorice stick so that their sound becomes very good. Or when they sing a lot, it puts a lot of pressure on their vocal cord. So when they chew this yashti madhu, then their voice becomes clear and it releases the stress on the vocal cord. So we are going to use almost 2 spoons of this yashti madhu powder to this ambulam. Okay, so more colorful. And then we are going to add spoon. We are going to add, this is gulkand, which you get in the market. We are going to mix it. Almost 1 or 2 spoons, which is again optional. It becomes tasty for the kids to have it, or it is cooling in nature. So those who are having heat issue or ulcerative problem, ulcerative colitis, or some kind of issues related with the digestion, burning sensation in the stomach, for them it is very cooling. Specifically in the summer season, it is very good remedy. So we are going to mix it with the hand. It becomes little sticky because of that gulkand. But the taste is awesome. Specifically kids, once they taste it, they will ask for it multiple times. So for cough, this is one of the tasty remedy, you can say. So the kids generally in the winter season, they eat a lot of festive dishes and then they end up with coughing. So you can mix it nicely. So you can see we have added cloves, we have added yashti madhu, we have betel leaves. So all this, then we have added saffron also. So it is healthy dish also, and then it becomes very good digestive and is going to take care of your respiratory system. So now we are going to transfer it into the serving bowl. can see it is mixed nicely. If you purchase one from the market, it won't be that much tasty how it tastes. And on the top, it is healthy also. So you can see our tambulam is ready. We have to garnish it with the colorful fennels again on the top. It becomes more attractive. Okay, so our third dish is ready. So let's check whether our moong dal has become cold. It's still little warm, but we don't have much time, so we are going to add sugar to it and other herbs also. But when you prepare at home, make sure all the ingredients are nicely cold. Okay, so let's add all our herbs. So we are going to add bacha to this mixture, which makes your speech more clear. Bacha is a very good herb for that. Then ashwagandha. Then our saffron. This is cardamom powder. I have grinded it with a little rock sugar. Then our madukparni leaves we are going to add. Then this is rock sugar powder. As per taste you have to add. So you have to mix it nicely. Make sure it is completely cold, otherwise sugar will start melting and you will not be able to form the laddus. You can see our healthy and laddus with the herb. This is like a motherly technique for giving the kids herbs. Generally, they won't have ashwagandha. If you give them in a powder form, it will be very difficult to convince them. So when they eat this type of a laddu, they will not be able to recognize whether some herbs are there inside it. So like this small laddus you can prepare. And you can even add our dry fruits also to it if you want, or you can decorate them. So these are the healthy laddus which if you eat, you won't be getting any harm. Besan laddu and all those generally, most of the people, they find it very difficult because it increases a lot of vata and it disturbs their digestive system also. Moong is a very healthy option for the chana. It is good source of protein also, and it balances all the three doshas. So that's why you should include moong. And it is mentioned that it is one of the ingredient which you should have every day. So there are certain food items which Acharyas has explained, or it is explained in Ayurveda, that you should have those ingredients every day. Like for example, cow ghee you must have every day, moong dal you must have every day, rock salt you should have every day. So like this, certain things, amla also you can have every day. So in tomorrow's recipes, we are going to use amla, because tomorrow we are going to prepare the dishes which are related with the hormonal imbalance. Okay, so I'm going to teach you certain dishes which will help you in hormonal imbalance, different types of hormonal imbalance. So like this, you can prepare multiple laddus, have them, and you can still remain healthy. Okay, so our healthy laddus are ready. We are going to offer all our ingredients. So you can see what we have prepared today for our Diwali festival. We have prepared all the healthy dishes. This is saffron rice. This is chiuda, the laddu, and on the top, the tambulam, the healthy tambulam. So all these ingredients, when you eat all these ingredients, if you feel you are very full, then you have this digestive also. Okay, so let's pray to Lord. By eating all these healthy, let's offer them, offer our Shri Radha Rundan Bihari all these dishes, so that by having this prasadam, we will be healthy. We still have some time, I think. If you have any questions, you can put the questions in the chat box. I'll try to answer them. What is the time? 6. What is the time now? Okay, so we'll have only 1 or 2 questions. We'll see. I hope you have I have met with your expectations of the festival dishes. I have tried my best to give you the best festival dishes. There are many more dishes. Maybe next, when opportunity comes, we can have other dishes also. Yes, we'll go for the questions. You can read it out. My 18 months old grandson is getting a lot of cough and cold. What we can give to build his immunity? Yeah, so actually, this is a very good question. So the tambulam is again one of the good, you can put all the ingredients in the mixer grinder and you can make it in a paste form. So it becomes fine. So that you can give just little bit after his meals. And like vacha herb, as I mentioned in the preparation, that vacha can be mixed with little honey and can be given to lick, so that the cough and cold will come down. And simple home remedies, ginger juice with honey also can be given to lick, just one drop of it 3-4 times a day. Cough cold will come down. Is brown sugar okay to consume? We should only use sugar candy. Yeah, brown sugar also is one of the good option. But sugar, the rock sugar is a pitta pacifying. It reduces pitta in the body. That's why generally I recommend that. Or even palm jaggery also I use a lot, or even normal organic jaggery also. But jaggery is again hot. Palm jaggery is cold. But this sugar, rock sugar is cold in nature. What is pop rice commonly known as, and where can I get? It is very generally in Maharashtra. It is available in market in a Diwali period. But online also you can check. It is available Amazon. You can check malar rice or pop rice or laja. So like that you can Google and you will get it. You can order it. Then there is a question. I think we'll be able to take only one question. It's already. I heard devotees are not supposed to take bitter leaves. Is it correct? Or can we take it as a medicine? So generally, you can see even for the Lord also there is a tambula is offered. It is a medicine basically. Actually, the betel nut is addictive in nature. That's why it is not recommended. But in small doses, you can have it. Is the recording? Yes, we will be making the recording available in the YouTube also. Where we can buy Ashwagandha, Vacha, Mandukparni. So Mandukparni, you can search. It must be there around you. It's very easily available. Most of the time, most of the people, they put it in their garden. You can check in a nursery also. You will get it. Once you plant it, it grows automatically. It only needs water. Ashwagandha is available in any medical shop where Ayurveda medicines are available. And even Vacha is also available in an Ayurveda shop. You have to just check. It is also called as Aquarius calamus or Vacha Churnam. If you ask, they will give you. It's easily available. Or even you can check it online also, you will get it. Ashwagandha is very commonly available. Okay, so I think we have to end this session because it's already over time. So we are going to meet tomorrow again, where I'm going to teach you some of the recipes for the hormonal imbalance. So most of the females, they are suffering from a lot of issues like PCOD, amenorrhea, menopause. So there are certain simple home remedies which you can use for the hormonal imbalance, and it will give you good strength and good relief from all those symptoms, like specifically PMS also, menopause also. So tomorrow we are going to meet again, and we are going to learn some simple techniques how to balance your hormones at home with simple, easily available herbs. Thank you for your patience and watching it nicely. So thank you. We'll meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna.